What's going on? What's going on, my peoples? I know I look a little rough. That'll be handled before Friday. But anyways, what's going on? It's been a minute since we last did life together. It's about 3 weeks, 2 3 weeks, something like that. A lot of movement that happened in the league, man. A lot of movement, lot of movement, lot of movement. So we had our round eight, as you all know. These are our four guys, our four Smoothie King players of the week, players of the round. We have Cortland Walton, who came out of his shell. He's had some decent games this season, but obviously this one was, his breakout game. He had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Then we have Eric Weary Jr. I mean, everybody knows he's going to get busy. I don't think he's had less than a 25-point game throughout the season. He had 27 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, 3 steals. Then we have Kenyatta Sewell Jr. or Sewell, excuse me, Kenyatta Sewell Jr. Uh, Former MVP of the league, coming back strong. This is his second game. Yeah, second game back. In a strong performance, a double double right off the bat. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. A big addition for the Heat, especially down the stretch. Um, Davion Parks had a huge game against got that work. 42 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. So huge double doubles across the league, and two key matchup games. So um, definitely a lot of bump that transpired and went on. And then from our votes today, we had um, we had Davion win Player of the Week for Power Hands, and we had Cortland Walton get the runner up. So congrats to those guys. That'll be posted, obviously after we finish. But yeah, congrats to those guys. First Player of the Week honors. So take it for what it is. But yeah, so getting straight into it. From our first game, we had Honcho Elite BLTN. BLTN got the head to head win 105-93, but some back office issues. They ended up having to take the forfeit, which gave Honcho the win. But I hate to see stuff like that, especially when a guy finally starts to get some momentum and get some rhythm, and have a game like Cortland had, where he was able to piece together, finally, get his rhythm, get some shots to fall. Um, yeah, man, just tough to see. But that was a pretty well contested game. Those two are pretty close in standings. So that just made for a hell of a matchup. And then for our second game of the night, we had the Heat versus Waco Terror. Terror's down a couple guys, which is a great thing. They've had since joining the league. Will has had, what is that, two guys now gone. So we got Xavier Armstead, which was the first one, and then Ty Prince, which was the second one, which was their two bucket getters. And they're still competitive. This game was within like 6 points several times, and then I mean they only had five at the end of the game, so that kind of wore in on them. But still, the ending score isn't indicative of how the game, transpired. But Kenyatta, did his thing, 24 points, 11 rebounds. Nothing to sneeze at, man. They're gonna be a tough out going down the stretch. Um, where we at with standings? We got the Heat sitting in fourth, so it's gonna be a what Big General says, it's gonna be a crazy one. Um, because the Heat have Cook up, yeah. the Heat have Cook Up this weekend, so that's gonna be that's gonna be a damn game right there. And for the last game from this past weekend, we had Cook Up versus Got That Work. This game here um, was the must see game of the week. Um, Again, we had Davian Parks had a 42-point double double. And again, people say, it wasn't three quarters. I'm telling you, if you go watch the film, the first quarter, he wasn't doing nothing. He was chilling. And, words was exchanged. And then, Buddy got busy. Uh, and that was all she wrote, and the defense just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. So could have been some adjustments made, things of that nature, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumble. You feel me? But clearly from that game, he was the guy. I think the next closest person had like 20. Um, Damn, what did they have? Yeah, on his team, the next closest guy had 26 points. So it was he was head and shoulders the guy this past Saturday, and as you can see with the score, if he didn't have that, it probably would have went the other way. So they fed off of that energy and made things be like or made things finish where they finished at. Let's just put it that way. Um, but yeah, we got the Heat and we got Cook Up facing off this weekend. So that's gonna be again, if y'all don't come see any game, that's the game to come see. And that's our 7:30 game. They're number 4 and number 5. Cook Up is in the 5 slot, and then you got the Heat in the 4th spot, and they got a tie record. The only thing that's separating them two is the point differential and the point against. So that's gonna be a hell of a game right there in the playoff implication. Um, and then who else we got? Um, we got Waco and Honcho. That's gonna be a good game. That's the first game of the night this Saturday. That game's gonna be at 4:30. Um, we gonna see if Honcho has their guys show up, the new additions and things like that. I think that they'll get the a better a better it'll be a better game. It'll be a better game, And then depending on the moves Waco make, Waco has some moves that they could make too. So we'll see how that pans out. Especially again like I said, Waco done lost a lot of people, but they lost a lot of people to for a good reason. So I can't be mad. Me and Will had that conversation before they even joined. So I'm just glad that we was able to, deliver on our end and make things, be what they are. And then I'm gonna call it the second game of the night. We got the Magic versus the Warriors, number 1 and number 2. That's gonna be a big game. DK ain't played well, we ain't played either. We both ain't played in 3 weeks, so it's gonna be a lot of rust coming off. It's gonna be a tough one. It's just gonna be a tough one, but that's gonna be the 5:50 game. So we got Terror versus Honcho. That's at 4:30, and then we got Magic Warriors at 5:50, and then we got Heat and Cook Up at 7:30. Again, game of the week going obviously it's gonna be 1 and 2, the Magic and Warriors, but at the same time the Heat and Cook Up game is going to be just as live. Both teams cooking on all cylinders. So we're going to see who show up. Do Parks have another 40-point game, or Gent's back? What that look like? So we're gonna see. We are definitely gonna see. But like I said, the standings are in a gridlock. We got the Heat. We got, matter of fact, from 3rd place to 6th place, those 4 spots is within 1 game. So they're all 3-3 except for Got That Work, but Got That Work has the bigger point differential and the against. So that's the only reason why they're up above the other three teams. But Waco, Cook Up, Heat, and Got That Work are all in a what 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie, and then you got Honcho that's just a game behind. So it's gonna be an interesting finish to say the least. That shit, somebody lose 2 games, they could find themselves out of that Final Four, and things start to look a little different. And everybody has like a tough schedule at the end of the season on purpose. So I mean, it ain't gonna look too hot for some people that don't have guys that aren't playoff eligible and things like that. Yeah, that's just gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for them. So hopefully, guys get their act together and figure that out. But for Coach of the Week, we got to go ahead and give it up to Nari Hudson for getting his guys to pass the number 3 team. They number 5 team beat the number 3 team, and they did it in a convincing fashion. It was up the whole game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Cook Up was down at all at any point in the game. So yeah, definitely kudos, big ups to Cook Up for handling business, and they got another matchup here with the Heat. So we're gonna see if they what they made of, because that's a tough back to back. You got the Heat finally figuring out what the game of basketball is, and then you got Cook Up on the other hand. You got somebody else other than Anthony Hunter hooping. And they got basically that's their big 3. They got Anthony, they got D Parks, and then they got Ronnie. And then you still got Jimmy. Jimmy ain't woke up, yet. You can see, he athletic, young cat. Really all young, but you could just tell, they got a little something right there. So we gonna see again. 1 and 2 got to get the player of the week. The game of the week, but off of emotions, feelings, that Cook Up and Heat game is gonna be a crazy game. He said that he got the squad together. We gonna see, man. We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. Because the last time the Heat and Cook Up played, that was the most lopsided game I think I think we'd have had all year. So this the give back game. I know you don't listen to FTB or YTB Fat, but yeah, you might want to. Matter of fact, I might bring the speaker to the game stand just so that way we could, you know, get the vibes. He said everybody ain't show. I know, but everybody gotta put their big boy pants on. Everybody ain't show when we played them either. We took that L. You know what I'm saying? I take the blame though. I should have subbed in. But yeah, I mean, you got to show up. They beat GDW and they didn't have Whoop, which I didn't even. I'm be honest with you, I didn't even notice until I went back and watched the game and did the stats. I didn't even realize Whoop wasn't there. So, I mean that also attributes to Andrews. Andrews had 46 and 14 or something like that, 15, 46, 15, something like that. He went crazy, but then they had, more of an evened out performance on their side. So, we're gonna see. It's gonna be, I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be. The difference in this game is gonna be who make layups. Both teams miss a lot of layups. They play fast. Y'all don't play as fast. Flacco, the only one really play fast, to be honest with you. But if whoever, I ain't gonna even say one particular team over the other, whoever makes the most layups is gonna be the team that wins. That's what it's gonna be. Whoever makes the most layups is gonna be the team that wins. But The matchup I want to see is Anthony versus Jamar. Jamar home now, so that's gonna be a tough look. You got Jamar, you got Anthony, and then you got Parks, and you got Gent. So that's a tough duo. Oh, and then you got Ronnie and you got Kenyatta. That's an evenly matched game. If we ain't had an evenly matched game yet this season, both teams evenly matched. Narvi Lee, whatever the big nigga name is, lead that nigga at the crib. Tell him the wrong game time. That's just friendly. That's just friendly peer to peer advice. Let that nigga stay at the crib. You feel me? But definitely Whoop got to show it to that one. Whoop got to show up because Big O is back. So that ain't gonna be nothing nice for the other fellas. But yeah, them some tough matchups. You got Gent, Parks, you got uh Ronnie, Kenyatta, and then you got Jamar and Anthony. That's tough. That's a tough matchup. That's a tough matchup. And then you got some people got looks. Some people getting some looks. So, it's an extra little chip on some people's shoulders. I don't know. Right now, Cook Up got one foot up on the Heat. They want to know. So we gonna see if y'all get y'all get back. That is what we gonna see. All I know is for our game. I know the Hood Power Ranger. I don't know if he on here. Now he gonna see this. If I gotta go out there and guard him, I'm gonna use all 30 fouls. That's what I'm gonna do. So, yeah, I got Magic. I got Magic by 5 plus -5, and then I got, depending on who show up for Honcho. I got Ter taking that because I don't think Honcho gonna have their people. But if they do have their people, if Honcho had their people, I got Honcho taking that one. And that's just because Ter's only gonna have 5, more than likely 5 guys. So, and then for the Heat Cook Up game, depending on who show up, if Jamar show up for warm ups, I'm gonna take the Heat. If Jamar don't show up for warm ups, then I got Cook Up taking it. I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna give Cook Up 6. We got Cook Up -6. If Jamar don't show up for warm ups, Cook Up -6. If Jamar show up for warm ups, then we'll give 4. We know they're not gonna close out a game. We're gonna give -4 for the Heat if Jamar show up for warm ups. If he don't, Heat -6. Watch it hit. You can go ahead and put your ticket in. I know it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. But also we got our top. What do you say? Whoa. Hey, no, hey. I'm not going against the problem child. If he showed up during warm ups, I got the Heat -4. Well, did I say minus? Yeah, I said -4. And then if he don't, then I got y'all -6. All I just need y'all to cover the spread. Just mark my words. If he show up how he showed up, who did they just play? The Tear. If he showed up how he showed up with the Tear, y'all got -6. But if he show up on some, on some business, he call himself staying on business, then I got them -4. But hey, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how they play off again. I like the matchups right there. The matchups are gonna be must see for that game. Definitely. And then we got the new top 25. We got We got DK Eldridge still manning the number 1 spot. We got Deontay Terra at number 2. Hold on, let me pull it up on this end so I can see. Yeah, Deontay is about a game and a half, behind DK. Between that 1 and 2 spot. Then you got Anthony Hunter at number 3, Charlie Shorter at 4, Eddie Sims at 5, Cameron Foreman at 6, Montrell Scott at 7, DJ Montgomery at 8, Cates at 9, and Weary at 10. So you got a nice little shake up there from these last past games. Though the Cates and Eric, they coming up. They've been putting together a couple good games and it's been showing. Definitely been showing. And then y'all can see, Ronnie wasn't on the last list, and he done bumped up past a couple people that got that 19th spot. And then Kenyatta don't even play 2-3 games, and he already at number 17. So it's a lot of cats, doing their damn thing, Then we got what? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 games left, really, or 4 rounds left, including this week, into the Final Four. So we'll know who's in the Final Four by probably December 2nd, to be honest. I mean, I doubt it comes to the last game, but it just might, because I'm be honest, like if it is like real close between teams, then those last two rounds are just gonna be playoff matchups anyway. So for anybody that's like, oh, if they win or they win, that whole sort of spiel, then that'll be what it be realigned to. So we'll just see how that play out. But like I said, there's 4 teams that are in a tie right now, in a 4-way tie from 3rd to 6th place, 3rd through 6th or 3rd through 7th. One of them. They all tied up. So we're gonna see how that play out and kind of tap back in. But these games this weekend are really gonna decide, who breaks that tie between Cook Up and them. And then if Terra as well, if Terra or Honcho win, if Honcho wins, then they bump up into that playoff contentions. And then if Waco loses, then they bump themselves out of it. And then it'll be seesaw, win, lose, they in or out. Just how that's gonna go for the remainder. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be some good basketball, but definitely some names on here that we'll see probably move up, and some names on here that'll leave because some guys aren't making the games. Again, remember, for playoffs, guys have to, unless they're a luxury player, have to add a 5-game minimum. So when we get to, what do we get to? We get to really, we got only 4 rounds left. So now I'll go through, and the system is already calculating. So the guys that are already playoff eligible, it already have a check bomb. But the other guys, if they don't have, if they're not a luxury player, and and they don't have at least 4 games under their belt, then they're not going to be playoff eligible. So those guys won't be able to participate. So yeah, so you gotta think about that as well. So it's tough. It's tough when there's money on the line. It gets tough when rules need to be followed and the whole shebang. So guys got to think about that and get their ducks in a row. And I know guys got other obligations, other league stuff that they feel obligated to go play in and things like that. sounds like a personal decision y'all got to figure out as a unit, as a household. So uh, yeah, that's gonna be tough. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. We have next season. We're already getting next season, underway as far as like accepting applications, things like that. We have a couple different teams that have been asking to get in. So and definitely players will probably have a mercenary team for sure next season. Um, all that info will be out not this weekend, but November 11th. After those games, we'll release applications for teams that are wanting to join the pack. Like I said, there's quite a few that have interest. We're gonna see how it go and get that info out for teams and players. So spread the word. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.